This is Ravn from 1349, and you're watching Search and Destroy. Well, DEMONOIR is by far our pinnacle of our work, of course. We always try to evolve and at the same time keep the essence that we had in our previous releases. So every time that we are going to make a new album, we look back at what we have done, and we see what kind of steps we can take in order to bring the whole thing forward. Even that goes musically, and also when it comes to concept around, or kind of the visual aspect of it and everything, and look backwards how to get forward in a way. That's how we've done with all our albums, and that helps us grow both as musicians and humans in a way. Well, his both appearance and just him being there in the studio, his role as a co-producer was frankly just to speak his mind. We run things by him and took advantage of his tremendous career and experience in making extreme music, extreme metal music, and to have him there is a huge inspiration, of course, and also a great asset in getting the sound on the album and getting things right, and he came with a lot of inputs that really pushed the band tremendously forward, I think. What drives me, I can only speak on my behalf, is this need to get an outlet for the more primal side that I think is evident in any man, and that's where I harvest all my energy, so to speak, and the black metal is the perfect arena to get an outlet for this. And yeah, that's pretty much how it works for me. The way we tend to work is that we make the music first. Mostly Archeon is writing and putting it together. We make recorded some sketches and set up of the whole thing at my place. Then we start rehearsing things and see if things worked out with drums and guitars and bass, and did the necessary rearrangements and stuff. Lyrics always comes in at the last stage of the recording, and they are being put on in the studio basically. So also with DEMONOIR, we have utilized Destroyer's talent. I don't know if you're familiar with the band Nocturnal Breed, but that's his was his main project for many years. He's writing a lot, and he has this extremely brutal and very suited way for writing lyrics that fits 1349's music, and he can't use these lyrics in any other bands, and he also gets inspired by our music to write this kind of lyrics, and they were a perfect match, I think. He managed to summon up a lot of the pictures and visions that I get when I listen to the music, and it really helps us to project these visions into the music, and hopefully the listener will pick it up when they listen to it, so that we will kind of share some of the same visions. Well, this again is our second headline tour over here, and to share the bill and do it a co-headline tour with Triptychon is in one way closing a circle for us, because when we started touring here, we started with Celtic Frost, and now to be back on the road with Tom, sharing the main spot with him and his new band, is, I think that it's kind of coming full circle now. They gave us the opportunity to come and play here for a big audience, and now we're paying respect back by having him with us, so to speak, and we can share the stage together, and both bands utilize of this, of course. And it's always nice to help each other out and honor the friendship that the band has. Both bands are close friends, so it's basically very good touring with Triptychon. Well, I can only reflect on what I see at the venues every day, and I see the response that we get, and the number of people increases for every time we come over, and the support that I think that we always actually have had a good support in the US, but it's really nice to see that they keep turning up in greater numbers, and it really makes it all worth it, because going to the US and tour US is quite a lot of more work than doing it in Europe, because first of all you have to fly in, that's one thing, and then it's all the immigration stuff, you know, and you have to rent all your equipment and yeah, taxes and whatever. Like in Europe you have the union and the bus come and pick you up and you bring in your old gear. So it's not that much of a logistic nightmare that it actually is to get to the US. If you then add all the costs of visas and whatever, it's not something that you will be able to make much money of, and so it's a very long-term investment and extremely hard work all the time. I 1349 is a band that was formed in order to be a counter-reaction to the bands that came out in the later half of the 90s, and I didn't like the way black metal was heading with synthesizers and much more commercializing kind of aspect to the whole thing, with big labels involved and everything. The atmosphere and the aura that had been present in the earlier days was replaced by some more plastic-ish, and I didn't want to be a part of that, so I came to form 1349 in order to do what I can do to maintain what I felt was the legacy of Norwegian black metal. So hence I don't pay. I stopped paying attention actually to all the new bands that came out, because they didn't give me anything, and I had all the inspiration that I needed with all the older albums and bands that was from the first wave of the Norwegian black metal scene. And I haven't actually picked up that much on the newer bands, so you can say yeah, I can see it. You can seem to be a bit neglected, but I just wanted to pay full focus on 1349, and that's what I have been doing since the formation of the band. It's fantastic. His latest album is by far maybe his best work. As an album, as a whole album, it's so great from beginning to end. The unity of the songs, how they work together as one, is by far his best, I think. Actually, it's not hard at all. It comes very natural every time that we get together and start working. Something just happens, and there is a force and an aura present that comes back to us immediately when we get together. So I never seen that as any problems. It's the experience that other members are out with other bands and see how they work and stuff. But 1349 has always worked the same way and still works the same way, and I think everybody's very confident in the way it works, and it kind of it's not a process that you have to think so much about. It's more acting on an instinct base, I feel, because something is just happening when we're there and we start working. We're not looking for something special or whatever. We just start to either work or to play, and the magic is kind of happening. It's really weird, but we embrace it for what it's worth, and it's kind of one of the unique sides to 1349 and the way that the band works together. It seems like black metal is a genre that people seem to pick up on, and they want to explore what it's about, and some people, I think, then really gets into it and understand what it's about, and it becomes a part of their life, and that's of course a positive thing, I think, that people will explore the more primal and darker sides of their mind in order to learn to control it and utilize the creativity that lies in these emotions. It will be touring and promoting DEMONOIR and Revelations, for that case, as it is now, and we will start working on new material when we have time in between, and when things are right, so to speak. It is a matter of working out the logistics and have focus at the right things at the right time. So it's first and foremost now performing and doing everything from DEMONOIR, which is our main album at this point, and it demands our full focus. Let people make up their own mind and use it for what it's worth. So, thank you so much.
Search and destroy.